So right before the crash, as we were descending, the flight attendant said something very eerie that I normally have never heard before landing. She said, "In case of an emergency landing, do not grab your luggage." And everybody was like, "Okay." And then as we were descending,
What kind of mess? What? Have y'all ever heard somebody say that before? That sounds crazy. This is crazy. Jean Lay, just another one to have questions on what the F.
flight attendant said something very eerie that I normally have never heard before landing. She said, "In case of an emergency landing, do not grab your luggage." And everybody was like, "Okay." And then as we were descending, we hit a lot of turbulence. So she said, "Please, everyone, the pilot is saying for everyone to keep your seatbelts on. We're hitting a lot of turbulence." And
No, they don't say that. I've never heard that one time ever. Turbulence, they say keep the seatbelt on. They keep the seatbelt on sign on if there's turbulence anywhere. Plus, you're required to have your seatbelt on when you're landing anyway. So they'll start cleaning up the plane, and then they'll say it's time for you to put your seatbelts back on because we're preparing for landing. They don't say in case of emergency, don't take your luggage. No, that's weird. That's weird. That doesn't even make sense to me. That's crazy. What the hell?
and then we landed very roughly. It was a rough landing. Like when we landed, everyone felt it. It just like the plane like jolted, and you heard the pilot try to brake, like he was trying to prevent the collision that occurred. And as you heard the brake, you just a couple seconds later, it was just a very loud boom.